Welcome back to Superfed TV Presents REBBL REL action. Picking up the second match of week, what are we in, week 3 already? Time's flying. Week 3, we're going to be returning to my division, so we will of course have that division intro, but before we get it started, as we are now getting accustomed to doing it every single time, we're going to go ahead and open with the disclaimer. Warning, what you are about to hear is in fact opinion. It is not necessarily a representation of the league, coaches, or channel. You will hear things that may not make you feel good. This is called criticism. Sometimes criticism can even be subjective. Blood Bowl is a game of dice and strategy, and there will be comments on both dice and strategy. It does not necessarily mean that the subjects are good or bad people, but they probably are bad coaches. This is sarcasm. Either way, if you think it is offensive to be told you are wrong, tell someone else who cares. Enjoy. Alright, in we go. So today we're also going to be taking a look at TeamSpeak Crew version 4, coached by Puckstop, and Zarky, coach of your Lizard Arry. Now, I already covered Zarky's game last week, so if you've yet to play Zarky, you're going to get a little extra insight into his team. But I'm specifically covering this one because Puckstop asked, and I'll put this out to anybody in the REL. If your match was not streamed, and I haven't covered one of yours in the season, which I may, obviously this applies more later on than right now because I haven't covered that many, but if I haven't covered your match, if it's not been streamed, I give you or you're free to invite me to stream one of your games, and I will try to make that happen. Just need to make sure you let me know once your match was played, because the replays obviously don't stay on there forever, and I would need to hear about it sooner than later. Ooh, right off the bat, Puckstop getting the blitz. That's lovely. Looking at the position here, we've got 3 Dwarf blockers on the line, like that, although his Claw Mighty Blow one is back. That has stand firm. I can see the point. I can see the reason why he did that. Sets up a lovely 2-die on this one, and the angle of the approach is also nice. Although, okay, I see why he did that. So he wants to get the stand firm over here. I would have rathered him push over here, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the stand firm accomplishes here other than giving up an extra 2-die block. Could have pushed from this way too if you were just going to end up with the lizard there and not giving up that block. I do like Zarky immediately going for the dodge hobgoblin with his killer. That's an ideal target in the first place. 87, knocked out right away. Why won't this go away? That stays off. Keeps coming up. So is rewarded with the removal. Turn 1. Good choice. And he brings him back because he knows that the threat is really on this side of the pitch, especially after making that removal over there. Wisely also swinging the skink around to this side and retreating the skink back, although he's also kind of serving him up as a bit of a target, although it's also a soft target because he's only got frenzy, no tackle. Now for the line of scrimmage blocks, which is, again, Smart. Normally you see people prioritize those line of scrimmage blocks, but wisely, if you're a Lizard Harry, coached by Zarky, making the call to protect the ball after that blitz over getting these extra blocks. And positioning there with that stand firm, it does result in a knockdown, which means that he is less likely to get the blitz with the Claw Mighty Blow next turn, unless he really stacks up guard on this block source. I wouldn't necessarily like either. I think you've got the blitz, you want to keep putting the pressure on your opponent here. They are lizards. They've got really good movement, so I fully expect them to swing up left, and you see Puckstop act accordingly, swinging around that other Bull Centaur that way. He does make the Claw Mighty Blow blitz, but he doesn't have the movement to really do anything else after that, so he just leaves him there. And a second push on the source. That'll be a little frustrating for Puckstop at this point, seeing that your opponent got a KO right away, and you've had some Claw Mighty Blow shots and gotten nothing. And then, of course, the Hobgoblin with no skills at all gets the stun. Dirty player fouling the stun source. If you've got a bribe, I like it. If you don't have a bribe, I don't. Let's see if he's got a bribe. He does have a bribe, so I do like that call. The reason I like that call is Saurus, if you can get a removal on him, are so priority targets. Dirty player being a priority target, but he doesn't follow it up, so he's not going to be able to pile it on. Still, I think that was a good play there. And he protects his Killer Saurus. And this is where he's going to cage up. So he's actually not going to try and swing out because this Bull Centaur is here. Had the Bull Centaur not been here, he could have tried to do some kind of screen and basically controlled this whole half of the pitch. So gotta tip my hat to Puckstop's preventative positioning, as I will call it. Darky has a hierarchy of skink priority. He's valuing the sidestep skink, sacrificing the 5 out of 6 SPP skink. Can't say I agree with that, honestly. I would rather use the sidestep one to take the hit, because there's always a chance this one, when he levels up, is going to get a double or skill or stat up. Whereas this is just a normal roll, so it's not that valuable, honestly. We're setting up a big foul on the Croxagore. Excited for this. Really taking advantage of that bribe. I love it. Just the stun, but that's okay. Here comes a blitz onto the skink. No damage. Question now is the positioning after the fact. He does retreat. Still in killer range. One more would have kept him out of that, but because of all of his stuff in between, he's not going that direction. He's going this direction. Ooh. So the stand firm choice there actually is going to pay off, because really this is what Puckstop wants. Puckstop wants a Claw Mighty Blow shot on Salazar Sidewinder. He's giving up the score, but it's so early. As long as he can make sure he keeps applying pressure, you know, having the Lizard score on turn 4 or 5 is pretty much a victory. Not a victory of the match, but a victory of the drive, in the sense that you forced your opponent to score super early. And Zarky, recognizing the danger of the Claw Mighty Blow, it's going to be fouling. Brings over a lot of pieces to protect Salazar Sidewinder. Does not get rewarded with the foul. No send-off, though, at least. And because of this little screen, I don't think he's going to be able to get the 2-guy on Killer. But I think he left an opening on the ball. He did. See if Puckstop's willing to go for that. With Frenzy, though, I think I would. Even though it's a lot of GFIs. Here it comes, yep. And he gets the POW. Zarky prioritized protecting his killer over securing the ball and is punished for it with a stun. Now we see another foul come through. Or moving the rest of these. Because he's got the bribe, he can get away with that. I don't particularly like it, but it's not bad play either. Basing a lot. I don't know. I don't know what basing the Strength 5 one really gets you. The stand firm one goes down to a skink block of all things. First action. Bonehead makes us aware of its presence. The killer is going for the bowl. I expected the greedy reroll. Yep, there it is. I'm probably going to see a piling on, but maybe not. No. He is playing for the ball. Which is the right call, to be fair, but the way he invested that reroll in the... if it had been a stun, I bet he does pile on. Just because he invested the reroll in it. But because he used that reroll, Skink is not able to make that recovery on the ball. We are seeing even more pressure on these lizards. You get more of these dwarfs back into play, and that's the first thing he does, which is good. Also, yep, I see this block here. That's fine. One more block here. Ooh, I would have done this one first. And that's a wise reroll. And you need to, yep, follow that up there. Before you made that block, I would have moved my bull. Because now you know where the ball is. You know the danger is the skink of scoring. I would semi-be worried about the surf. I don't think I stand him up unless it's... Well, it's break tackle, so maybe you go here. Not a good one, but it'd be last action. I think I would have last action moved here. This Dwarf is doing his job. Flump it. Flump. 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 Even though I didn't like Flump going up against Strength 5 Source, he hasn't knocked over yet, so fine. Blitzing the Hobgoblin makes the killer able to take out this Dwarf. He does get the knockdown. This one he doesn't follow because he's marking the ball and securing that ball. If he doesn't make the pickup and the ball doesn't scatter horribly, that's a good spot for him to be at. This retreat also is decent because it... all the stunty dodges work. This retreat's decent because it does give him options, but the Dwarfs are really well positioned in response to this. And if I'm puck stop on turn 5, I'm going to go ahead and give him the exit back out this way, because so much of his team is all clumped up here. You can't really afford a potato on the left side of the pitch. Skinks have great movement, but you've got those bull centaurs, and as long as you're not too bogged down, you can get away with facing them down. Actually, would have pushed him this way. Bold, but I like it. This is a Bloxigor, so really the red die is not that likely to succeed, but it's not likely to screw you either. And this one I don't like, because you don't want to free up this Saurus, but then after you freed up this Croxigor, and see, he didn't follow, so he's gonna be a little punished for not following that red die block. But if you had failed this one, you would have then freed up the Strength 5 Source and the Bloxigor to retake some of the control here. Nice chain dice, or chain push play to open a hole. Not going to score this turn, but he now has a great screen. Arky continues to impress me. Started with a blitz, and I wouldn't say that he did anything too bad. the Chorfs had some good positioning and good control. And the casualty from the foul really kind of put him on his back foot, but Zarky kept his composure and is definitely going to come out of this drive with a score and probably do it with enough, or with so little time on the clock that the Chorfs are unable to score in response. Really putting a lot of pressure into onto that Croxagore. He did let up on the fouling though. I think I would have still liked to see more of that bribe. Bribe still has not been used. Nice break tackle, get that pressure on the ball carrier. Ooh, all the dodges. Was that 2 4+s? That was 2 4+s. So if he had used break tackle the first time, he would have positioned here, but because he didn't, he was able to make another second dodge to get in an even better position, forcing 2 dodges from the skink. And there's really not going to be a good way for him to break this Bull Centaur off. Follows up just in case it's a stun. I think he might have considered piling on. But yeah, the plan all along was to move him back so we can get a 1-die with his skink. No? Okay. Ooh. Not the greatest screen there on this break tackle. It's 3+ for him to get there. At the very least, Zarky has ensured that TeamSpeak crew will not be scoring this drive. And he doesn't even go for it. He's given up the score, and that's fine. Rewarded with the casualty with that block on the skink. Got the reroll, so of course you're going to reroll this on turn 7. Now he has tackle on that skink, which is good. And the Bull blitz. 1-die into a 2-die, I believe. Might have liked him break tackling off that, but maybe not. No, it would have been a 3+, but he has dodge. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Alright, how's Zarky gonna do this? Just straight dodge? No, he makes a block beforehand. He does have a reroll. Get that one out of the way. See if we don't see the killer with this guy. There's a 1 and 9 out of the way. Into a dead, dirty player. Hobgoblin served his purpose. Here it goes. Burn the sufficient amount of dice in order to avoid any skulls. The 1 and 9. Zarky gets the score. Knockout stays on the sidelines. But he does have another chance to come back. Same with the skink. And I was going to say, 1-turn defense. Really don't think the Lizards have anything to worry about with the 1-turn. I think they more than anything just have to worry about the riot. But he does have grab. And both Centaurs do have good movement. So it's possible. curious as I'm watching the setup what he's trying to do. Get the ref gives a bribe to both teams. And we should probably see a foul this turn then. We're not seeing the one turn attempt, so yeah. Ooh, there's the claw. Mighty Blow doing the thing. Claw on the armor break. And no Mighty Blow needed on the... That one hurts even more. Mighty Blow on the injury there. Those two removals are huge, and you know you're still getting a foul this turn. Bloxagor doing block things. Finally goes down. This isn't going to be the best foul. They do still have a blitz. Here it comes. Positioning is key. Goes for the chain push. I like the positioning there. It's going to give you a good shot at getting a nice foul. Oh, it actually allows him an extra block. It's smarter. Well played, puck stop. Yeah, you wouldn't get that knockdown in this big, juicy foul if you hadn't positioned that correctly. Absolutely going for the foul. 3 assists, looks like. Just a stun. But these skinks have got to be very nervous about going into the second half. And if I'm looking at 4 casualties against me, or against my opponent, I'm probably going to be... They're all playing catch. I'm probably going to be scoring fast if I'm on the Chaos Dwarf side. Especially if I can get one more removal. As we go into the half, Zarky's got to be more than a little nervous. Those skinks especially know that their number is up as the Chorfs are going to be hunting them down. But being down 3 Saurus is nerve-wracking to say the least. The KO does come back, so we'll see a full complement. Chaos Dwarves and Hobgoblins and full Tsukars. 4, 5, 9 players for the Lizardmen. Still workable. The most valuable source is still on the pitch. Got some guard on the pitch. Proxigor can really take up 3 players if you've got good positioning for it, and the Chorfs will usually let you have that because that means that they can throw 1 dice at you. The position we see is with guard in the middle there. So that's exactly... Oh. Interesting. I was going to say, with... Okay, right, or both teams lose a turn, that actually helps the Lizards. A little less damage that they have to worry about. But leaving the spot blank here actually kind of helps. Actually, no, it is smart for puck stop. Although that KO is terrifying for the Lizards. I was gonna say, you know, trying to get 3 on the Croxicor, but yeah, that's probably what we're still gonna see. Either way, though, since there's now only 2 swords left on the pitch, if you do put 3 Chaos Dwarves on this Croxicor, you've still got more than enough to control the pitch. I want to see a blitz. I don't like that. The fouls, though, have been putting in the work. There's a bribe used. No dirty player needed. Great foul. I just don't like that he didn't blitz one of these skinks. I would have really preferred to see that. Not using the reroll there, I also understand, but if you're playing for the win, I think you might consider that strongly. You might have also considered picking it up with the hobo, but you got your hands. Never mind. That's why there's no reroll. Yep, there was a reroll. Just automatic. Yeah, see, you had a shot at these skinks last turn. The reason why he didn't make the blitz with Bull Centaur, somewhat sensible. He didn't want to get the counter blitz from this killer. So instead, he could have blitzed the Crocs and then gone back and assisted with that foul. I would have hated that either. But Zarky is now in full retreat mode after those 2 removals. Bonehead is not going to protect that Croxagore. Just a push. I would have rather blitzed with the Claw Mighty Blow. This one's close to leveling. No, it's not actually. Yeah, you definitely should have blitzed with Claw Mighty Blow. A huge foul on this Croxagore. And because he has the bribe, he's doing it before he even attempts to pick up. Just a stun. There's the pickup. Yeah, he can go pretty far up this pitch. Now we're threatening the Skinks. I understand why he went to that position, because he wants to be able to show that he can go anywhere. But because he's one step ahead of this Dwarf, he's going to take a punch to the face, as we're seeing here. If he is one step back, I think it's much less likely that we see this play out of Zarky. I mean, you invest the reroll, but it's not rewarded with it. GFI afterwards. I don't think that protects you at all. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Almost an armor break on that too. That would have been killer. Because if that was stunned, then he gets a foul of Crocs this turn, and then he can set up for a huge foul on the Source next turn. As it is, we're seeing a 3-die blitz onto the Skink with it. Dwarf gets the POW. This is the one he wants to level up. Just a stun, though. And he is looking like he wants to foul this one. More than the Crocs. Well, I guess not. Just set up cage. We're not going to see a foul at all this turn? Like that. Oh, we will. Sticking with fouling the Crocs, I would have rather seen him foul the Swords. For one, the Crocs is thick skull, so KO isn't that great. But for two, the Killer is going to be the one that's going to be more likely to do damage to you at this point. Zarky continuing his avoidance of Chaos Dwarves with the Skinks. The other reason why I wouldn't like the Source foul. Oh my. The other reason I didn't like that is because he still has 2 dice on you with that blitz there if you have 1 or 2 guys, so why let him tie up 2 guys? Zarky had other things in mind, like dodging with the sword, or dodging with the Croxagore. GFI for this blitz, I would have rather seen him do something with one of his bowls that doesn't require the GFI or with sure feet. But I think this is going to be a score here. Maybe after a big foul. Yes. Seeing that bowl move means that we're not going to be able to protect the ball, so this is 100% foul and then score. Don't overcommit too much, though, because you can always roll a 1 on the bribe, turn over, and then have your ball carrier exposed. Just a stun with the send-off, but the bribe does work. You're all tied up, 1-1. Lovely orc cheerleaders. So Zarky has definitely a return play here. And that is to shoot a skink up the sideline with sidestep. Do a handoff play. None of his skinks have catch. But he's got 3 with sidestep. So I would have one of the unskilled skinks back to recover and pick up the ball. There we go. We've got one shooting up the side here. Yeah, I don't like this one back here. I would probably rather see him up front. See, because you've got all these skinks back here, it's going to be hard for you to get a good deep sideline cage that's going to be protected. If you had a second and third skink here... Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no. It was your offensive drive. You could have positioned that better. I get that you wanted to occupy that space with him, but you could have put him there and the skink there, and it would have been fine. Oof. That's brutal. That snake on that blitz is probably worse than the blitz kickoff result at the start of the game for the Lizards. Just devastating timing there. Because now the Dwarves are going to be able to get just complete pitch control and probably recover the ball. Well, bright spot that they don't have to... I might have considered re-rolling it, honestly. Just so I could get that square right there. But he got the ball anyway. So put the diving tackle on the corner right here. So this is probably like that setup on that kickoff is probably the first time where I've really thought to myself that Zarky maybe slipped up in the 2 games that I've covered him. Like, I guess there was one thing last turn he played a little loose as well in the second half, but as far as this match goes, that was probably the biggest misplay, was not having a skink on the line there for that 3rd spot, and then having, since he knew that that's what he wanted to do, was shoot that sideline, he should have had the source to the left there so he could make that block with no GFIs. Maybe he just miscounted, and I would have really liked to see him base the ball carrier with diving tackle and sidestep, but bygones. So yeah, didn't like that, but I think Puckstop's playing this well. Between the blitz, the very generous foul removals, the additional bribe, that snake, it's been a good game for Puckstop. Making those GFIs there to make sure that the skinks can't just all wrap around and get a 1-die on the ball carrier. I like that. Turnover's fine there. I don't really see much counterplay that the Lizards can do at this point. Short of rolling, what is it, probably 3 red dice. You would need a triple POW in order to knock over that Centaur. Well, let's just say that that's not happening. Dodge to tackle does not work. But yeah, if you put sidestep dodge on him, or sidestep diving tackle on that ball carrier, it would have been a little bit trickier for him. I don't think he just dodges away from that. I think he has to try and blitz it off, and if you sidestep and don't get knocked over, you're in a good spot. And considering where you left the skinks anyway, that they were just marked by tackle, there's better places for them to be. So I think, honestly, I think the numbers game really just got to Zarky, being down so many Saurus, that he just, you know, did what he thought was best in the moment, but it was a little sloppy. Just a couple minor positioning things from puck stop and maybe a couple turn order things, but not a lot that I could say that he could play better. And the numbers really just kind of all came all at once. He had that one early removal on a foul on the unskilled Saurus early on, and then he had a KO on a skink, which is not a big deal. But I think it was turns like 7, 8, and 9 where just a huge bulk of damage got taken by the Lizards. Full Centaur down to a rock. Just a KO. I don't think he's got one turn potential here, but I could be wrong. No, he doesn't. And I don't think he could. I think he needs one more piece or grab or something. Skinks do find themselves a knockdown on a Dwarf and an armor break. Just a stun. Another armor break for a skink. Too little too late, but interesting to see the animation that you so rarely see. Stunty pass is complete. But not the catch. Eventually the catch, but not the one that you wanted. And that's will wrap things up. 17 armor breaks, but they got work done. 6 removals off those 17 breaks. 41 blocks on both sides. Just looking at this, I mean, you wouldn't think that it was that bad. The difference is there was those injuries from fouls and KOs to fouls that are not tracked here. I want to say it was 3 more injuries that were all from fouls. So that's where it's a bigger landslide in terms of numbers. 5 casualties, so 2 more that weren't on there, and then 2 more KOs that weren't on there. I don't know. Maybe I'm not right. Yeah, just 2 more injuries, I guess. Dice log isn't going to be that bad. Yeah, it's not. It's really not. I think it was just the timing of that snake, which was entirely avoidable due to the positioning. Anyway, I've harped on that more than enough. And then, you know, the blitz didn't really change much, I would say. It just gave a little positioning edge to the Chaos Dwarfs that kind of put the Lizards on their back foot the whole first half. But Zarky recovered very well. He was patient and he stuck with it. Little zigzag skink style, and played the first half great. The second half, though, after the numbers kind of turned away from him, was a bit tougher. So either way, 2 really good coaches playing pretty good Blood Bowl in Division 3. I would not be surprised to see either of those coaches in the playoffs. And furthermore, I probably expect one of them to be in Division 1 next season. So you will be seeing more of those guys for sure. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a good one. And next thing you'll see from me will probably be the recap later this week. Probably. So have a good one.